Up now in a story we've covered for weeks, uncovering the lack of protections on hundreds of affordable housing units right here in Portland.
Now, the landlords of the Prescott apartments in North Portland are delaying their nearly 50% rent increases issued to dozens of low-income tenants. Let's get to our Elise Haas. And what's this about, Elise?
Well, that 50% rent increase was slated to start in November, but recently the landlord, Green Cities Company, sent the low-income tenants a notice saying that they would subsidize those 50% rent increases for an additional 90 days. And while that may sound nice, what that also allows the landlord to do is implement yet another increase in November of next year.
It's greed, is what it amounts to.
As a single dad, Mike Schreiner is doing his best to raise his 17-year-old daughter in a one-bedroom apartment in the Prescott in North Portland.
I'm on Social Security disability, and so my income is limited, and it's not going up yearly the way everything else has. It's with the inflation we've got, along with these potential rent increases. It's just impossible to keep up.
For the past 5 years, he's been able to keep himself and his daughter housed by being in the city's affordable housing program. But after Green Cities Company recently became their landlord, he's now anticipating a $400 rent increase.
I'm sure there are kids there who are homeless as well, but I don't want her to be one of them. And I just can't imagine doing that to her. It's hard for me to even wrap my mind around the fact that people are doing that to one another today in this economy, this city.
After tenants hand-delivered a letter to Green Cities Company last week asking for more manageable rent increases, the company sent them this notice, giving them additional time to assess their options by delaying the rent increase to February, only giving tenants 3 weeks to sign the concession contract.
It isn't a concession.
The tenants say the landlords are just delaying the inevitable.
They're not the least bit concerned about putting me in a tent, no longer living in one of their buildings.
Now, in an open letter addressed to the leaders of Portland City Council, the certified low-income tenants in affordable units in the Prescott apartments are asking leaders to intervene to protect them and others in this affordable housing program from 50% rent increases. They asked the City Council to cap rent increases to 5% on affordable units, provide clear notifications about the housing program, and more robust relocation plans. I have reached out to Green Cities Company numerous times in the past couple of weeks, and including again today, and I've yet to ever receive a response from them. I also reached out to everyone on City Council. Commissioner Dan Ryan's office sent me the exact same statement that they sent me 2 weeks ago, but basically saying that all options are on the table and asking for the tenants to be patient as they work for a solution. Commissioner Rubio's office responded saying that it is their understanding that Commissioner Ryan is working with the Housing Bureau to figure something out, and Commissioner Hardesty says that she is working to come to a work session as soon as possible to address this issue.
Elise, so we heard from Mike there lay out how frustrated he is, and it's got a lot of people wondering, how can this even happen? How is it even legal?
What it really boils down to is massive loopholes in state laws that have unintended consequences paired with a lack of protections within the city's affordable housing programs. But people can read much more about that in my previous coverage at KOIN.com.
All right, Elise, this is just one big mess that Elise continues to cover for us. Thanks, Elise. Let's talk about the weather. If you're waiting for fall, your wait's over, Natasha. Felt very